Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 8 deck lists for the latest Tiny Leaders Reborn tournament that happened at Clear Lake, California at Kingdom Games. This is part of the Reborn Rumble tournament series here in NorCal. And yes, I was able to join this, and no, I was not able to top. Your boy got absolutely demolished. He got scraped. I got waffle stomped. I got all that stuff happened to me. So yeah, long story short, scrubbed out. But I still had a lot of fun. I won X3 drop, if you're curious. But yeah, we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about my failures. We're here to talk about all the winners, or at least all the folks that were able to top 8. So before breaking this down, I just would like to say a huge thank you to Laglant. I believe that's how you say your Discord name, Joe. Joe is his real name, by the way. He's a really cool guy. He's like a good ambassador for the game. When I was first discovering this format, he was able to point me in the right direction. He invited me to the tournaments, and he was able to, show me the ropes and stuff like that. So a really cool guy, Joe. Huge shout out to you. Just thanks for being an awesome dude and compiling all this information. He, gets all the deck lists. He uploads them onto Moxfield. He does a tournament breakdown over Discord. So yeah, this video wouldn't be possible without him. And again, Joe, can't thank you enough. So before we get into the top 8 deck lists, I want to go over the meta breakdown, what happened. So there was a total of 14 players. It cut to a top 8 because that's what we all agreed upon. We could have made it like it was 4 rounds, a top 8. That's what everyone felt comfortable with. We don't want to make too many more rounds because, some of us had long drives. I, for one, had a 2-hour drive, and so I didn't want to drive all the way back 2 hours super late at night. But yeah, anyway, so tournament breakdown. We'll go over the top 8 deck lists in a little bit. But yeah, first went to Ketramose. Leovold got second. Gristbugs on third. Another Leovold deck got fourth. Aceric. Someone tell me in the comments section how you pronounce this. I'm saying Aceric. I may be saying that totally wrong, but if you know, please let me know down in the comments. Sixth was Tameshi. 7th was Tifa, and 8th was a Sephiroth deck. And as always, you can find the deck list in Moxfield on Moxfield. I'll go ahead and put a pinned comment, or YouTube doesn't allow me to pin comments yet, but I'll put it like either in the description or like in one of the comments down below. But yeah, so the metagame breakdown was 3 Leovold. That was by far the most popular deck, and only one Ketramose, which is surprising because it ended up winning. It's not surprising that it ended up winning, but I'm just surprised that only one person brought Ketramose. I guess not a lot of people like playing the deck, apparently, but not sure why, because right now it's seeing the most success here in NorCal, here in Northern California. In the fact that it won the last Reborn Rumble tournament last month in July. Let's see here. 1 Tifa, 1 Papalimo. That's me, yours truly. I'm the one who brought that deck and scrubbed out with it. 1 Rog Yoshi, 1 Indoraptor, 1 Sephiroth, 1 Grist, 1 Aceric. Again, someone tell me how to pronounce that if I'm pronouncing it wrong. 1 Tameshi, 1 Hazoret, and 1 Plagon. So let's go ahead and just jump into the top 8 deck list. First off, we'll start off with the winning list. So again, no surprise here because it won the last tournament and it won again. So you have Ketramose, and then yeah, so 1 Kaya, Boggart Trawler, Emperor of Bones, Orcish Bowmasters, and Skyclave Apparition. For sorceries, you have Dam, Dreadfugue, Inquisition of Kozilek, Lay Down Arms, Prismatic Ending, Strategic Betrayal, so nothing surprising there. Your instants, 1 Annoy with Affliction, 1 Clean to Dusk, 1 Cut Down, Ephemerate, Fatal Push, Long Goodbye, March of Otherworldly Light, 1 Razorgrass Ambush, 1 Sheoldred's Edict, 1 Soul Partition, and 1 Source of Plowshares. And then for your artifacts, your Ghost Vacuum, your Portable Hole, Relic of Progenitus, 1 Sensei's Divining Top, and 1 Unlicensed Hearst. For your enchantments, you got On Thin Ice, Ossification, Seam Rip, and Taval's Judgment. So nothing too surprising in the main deck list. And then for your lands, this person played 18. 1 Arid Mesa, 1 Bleachborn Verge, 1 Cavern of Souls, Command Tower, Field of the Dead, Godless Shrine, Hive of the Eye, Tyrant, Isolated Chapel, Marsh Flats, Polluted Delta, Scrubland, Shadowy Backstreet, 3 snow-covered plains, 2 snow-covered swamp, and 1 verdant catacombs. All right, next, for our second place, we have Leovold, Emissary of Trest. So they played one Ashiok, one Horn Oculus, one Baleful Strix, one Baragoyf, one Birds of Paradise, one Brazen Borrower, one Deathrise Shaman, one Delighted Halfling, Emperor of Bones, Hydroid Crassus, Kotis, Sipsec Champion, one Naru, everyone's favorite, Orcish Bowmaster, Psychic Frog, Silent Hall Creeper, Snapcaster Mage, Springheart Nantuko, Tameo, and one card I've never seen before, I know, huge shocker, is Ursine Monstrosity. So I want to just read this real quick in case you're not familiar also. For 2 generic and a green, you get a creature, Bear Mutant, that's 3/3. Trample, at the beginning of combat on your turn, mill a card and choose an opponent at random. So I guess in a 1v1 format, that's going to be your one and only opponent. Ursine Monstrosity attacks that player this combat. If able, until end of turn, Ursine Monstrosity gains indestructible and gets 1/1/1 for each card type among cards in your graveyard. So yeah, this guy looks like he can get out of hand very quickly if you cannot answer him. All right. Next, we have your sorceries: Collective Brutality, Inquisition of Kozilek, Reanimate, Thoughtseize, and Unearth. Then for your instance, Abrupt Decay, Fatal Push, Long Goodbye, Mental Misstep, Noxious Revival, and then Once Upon a Time. For your artifacts, you have your Lightning Greaves, one of these staples in Casual Commander, and then Nowhere to Run. And then for your lands, this person played 17. They played a Bayou, a Boseiju, Bringy Pool, Field of the Dead. So looks like Field of the Dead keeps popping up, and if he keeps winning, then I'm gonna probably have to consider playing one of these things. So yeah, it was in the winning Ketramose list, and now it's in the second place. Let's see how many more times it pops up in the top 8 deck list. And if it continues to, if I see more, then I'm probably gonna have to pay the 40 bones that it costs right here on TCG Player, and put one in my deck. Monkey see, monkey do. Then you got Forest, and you got an island, Misty Rainforest, Otawara, Overgrown Tomb, Paluda Delta, one snow-covered forest, one snow-covered island, a tropical island, an underground mortuary, an underground sea, a verdant catacombs, and a watery grave. And all I have to say is with 3 duels, this deck looks really expensive. For the sideboard, let's see here. 1 Amphibian Downpour, 1 Blue Elemental Blast, 1 Cyclonic Rift, 1 Disruptor Flute, 1 Force of Negation, 1 Pernicious Deed, which is a deck, which is part of a popular deck, I believe, called the Rock and Pre-Modern. Nothing to do with TLR, I just thought I'd mention that. 1 Propaganda, 1 Sheoldred's Edict, 1 Toxic Deluge, and 1 Volatile Stormdrake. Alright, for our 3rd place deck, we have Grist, and this is the one that I think is the most interesting deck that topped this format, and you'll see why. One of the main reasons is the fact that it played 38 creatures. That's pretty insane, especially in a format where your main deck is only 49 cards and capped at 49 cards. 38 of them are creatures, and the rest, the 11 cards you're allowed, the rest to fill out the deck are everything else. So that makes me wonder how many lands this person played, and we'll see right now. So fair warning, I know I like to go over cards that I've never seen before, and a lot of these cards I'm not familiar with or have never seen before. But I can't go through all of them because there's a lot of them, so I'll just name them off. We have 1 Battlefly Swarm, 1 Bilious Skull Dweller, 1 Blister Beetle, 1 Brain Maggot, 1 Carrion Beetles, 1 Carrion Locust, 1 Caustic Caterpillar, 1 Caustic Wasps, 1 Devouring Swarm, 1 Dross Hopper, 1 Gene Pollinator, 1 Giant Ladybug, 1 Grist Voracious Larva, 1 Halo Scarab, 1 Hairwire Mite, 1 Hex Parasite, 1 Horizon Explorer. This looks like it's from the new Edge of Eternity sets right here. I think it's part of one of the Commanders decks, if I'm not mistaken. 1 Infesting Radroach, 1 Crawl Whipcracker, 1 Loam Larva, 1 Masked Vandal, 1 Molt Tender out of Aether Drift. I think this card is pretty underrated. 1 Nantuko Elder, 1 Nantuko Husk, 1 Nullmag Advocate, 1 Plague Beetle, 1 Realm Walker, 1 Seed Ship Brood Tender, 1 Sky Lasher, 1 Spine Seeker Centipede, let's see here, 1 Spire Mangler, 1 Sturge, 1 Thaw Bringer, 1 3 Tree Mascot, kind of hard for me to say, 1 Virus Beetle, 1 Wasp of the Bitter End, 1 Webstrike Elite, also out of Aether Drift. Hey, that Aether Drift, not too bad. Okay, it wasn't great, but you know, I think too many people ride on that set. It was an okay set. Anyways, 1 Xantid Swarm, and yeah, 38 freaking creatures. And again, the deck list will be down somewhere down there below. I'll link them. So if you want to take your time going through the deck, it'll be right there for your viewing pleasure. And 1 instant only, no sorceries, no enchantments, no artifacts, none of that. Just creatures, 1 instant, and the rest lands. And the instant is going to be Nameless Inversion. Yeah, that cool tribal instant from Lorwyn all those years ago. And this person only played 10 lands. So they played a Bayou, a Cavern of Souls, a Command Tower, an Ebon Stronghold, 1 Forest, 1 Golgari Rot Farm, 1 Havenwood Battleground, 1 Hickory Woodlot, 1 Peat Bog. So a lot of the lands that have the counters on them, and after you deplete them, you know, they die. And then 1 Swamp. And for the sideboard, they had 1 Allosaurus Shepherd, 1 Boseiju Who Endures, 1 Forest, 2 Forest, 1 Life from the Loam, 1 Prismatic Vista, 1 Swamp, 1 Tameo Safekeeping, 1 Veil of Summer, and 1 Verdant Catacombs. So it's interesting that they sideboarded what? Let's see, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. So it looks like just in case they got like mana screwed or something, they could just like take 6 creatures out or whatever, and then replace it with 6 lands, bringing their total land count after sideboarding to 16. So yeah, I am super like just fascinated and intrigued by this deck. Like, how the heck did they win with this? They just probably... it's just crazy. Like, I wish I could just speak to this person. Unfortunately, right after I scrubbed out, I kind of left. So, but yeah, I would love to talk to the person or whoever designed this deck. See like what their thought processes were, what like the main functionality of the deck is, because this is pretty cool. You know, 38 creatures, 1 instant, and then 10 lands. That's insane, man. So yes, I think this is probably the coolest deck that topped the whole day. So yeah, kudos to this person, and if this person who piloted this deck didn't design it, still kudos to them. You know, so props to them, and props to whoever designed this deck. Really, really awesome. All right, so next, our 4th place deck was another Leovold. So I wouldn't go over this again because I don't want to repeat myself, but I did notice that the Leovold deck that got second played 18 creatures, and this one only played 12, and it didn't play Ashiok, so a lot of differences. So let's just go over what this deck was. 1 Abhorring Oculus, 1 Barragoyf, 1 Cosmogoyf, pretty cool. 1 Deathrise Shaman, 1 Naru, 1 Nethergoyf, 1 Orcish Bowmasters, 1 Psychic Frog, 1 Snapcaster Mage, 1 Tameo, 1 Uro, and then 1 Witherbloom Apprentice. And this tells me they're playing the Smog combo. Did the other list play it? No, they did not. So the second place list did not play like the chain of... the chain of Smog Witherbloom combo? But this one did. And I wonder how many times they were able to get it off. Or at least I'm assuming. Yep, Chain of Smog is right there. So for the sorceries, Chain of Smog, 1 Get Tax Probe, 1 Green Sun's Zenith, 1 Hymn to Torak, 1 Inquisition of Kozilek, 1 Ponder, 1 Thoughtseize, 1 Toxic Deluge. And what I find interesting is the list that did play Witherbloom got, you know, still placed pretty high, 4th, but the one that didn't play 2nd. So not sure what that says, because you can't entirely, you know, tell, because maybe one person had better matchups than the other. But yeah, I think it's cool that there's 2 versions of a deck that we're able to top. You know, same deck, but same commander at least, but different play strategies, it seems, for the most part. All right, instance, Abrupt Decay, Anoint with Affliction, Brainstorm, Daze, Fatal Push, Legolas's Quick Reflexes, Long Goodbye, Mental Misstep, Once Upon a Time, and then Tainted Pact. Crazy. And then 1 for the artifacts, 1 Lightning Greaves, 1 Lotus Petal. For our lands, this person played 17. They played a Bayou, a Bloodstained Mire, a Boseiju who endures, 1 forest, 1 island, 1 misty rainforest, 1 overgrown tomb, 1 polluted delta, 1 swamp, 1 tropical island, 1 undercity sewers, 1 underground mortuary, 1 underground sea, 1 verdant catacombs, 1 watery grave, 1 windswept heath, and 1 Yavi Maya cradle of growth. For their sideboard, they played a chill, in case they played against any red decks, 1 dismember, 1 disruptor flute, 1 hydroblast, 1 natural state. I haven't seen this card before, and let's see what it does. For 1 green, it's an instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 3 or less. So in this format, that's going to be everything, every enchantment artifact, so that's pretty good. 1 Spell Pierce, 1 The Meat Hut Massacre, 1 Unlicensed Hearse, 1 Veil of Summer, and 1 Wash Away. Alright, for our 5th place deck, we had a Sarek and Joe, Laglant. This was his deck. So yeah, Laglant, not only a good ambassador for the game, but a very good player as well. He also aided the last Reborn Rumble tournament with Phalia. So yeah, really good player, as well as being all this stuff for Magic, all these cool things for Magic. For our sorceries, we have 1 Bloodchief's Thirst, 1 Dead of Winter, 1 Dread Fugue, 1 Duress, 1 Grim Tutor, 1 Hymn to Torok, 1 Innocent Blood, 1 Inquisition of Kozilek. Let me see what Innocent Blood goes. Another card I'm not. Let's see what Innocent Blood does, because it's another card that I'm not really familiar with. And it just says each player sacrifices a creature. Okay, not too bad. So I guess you do this on your Sarek or whatever, because that's the only creature they play. 1 Insatiable Avarice. I really love this card. 1 Knight's Whisper. 1 Profane Tutor. 1 Sign in Blood. 1 Spectre Shriek. And this is a sorcery for 1 black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player exiles that card. If a non-black card is exiled this way, exile a card from your hand. So this is something that I should look into playing as well, especially if I'm going to be playing Moreland. Might want to look into playing this card myself. So thanks for the tech idea, Joe. 1 Thoughtseize, and then 1 Toxic Deluge. For their instance, they played 1 Annoying with Affliction, 1 Cut Down, 1 Dark Ritual, 1 Defile, 1 Dismember, 1 Fatal Push, 1 Grasp of Darkness, and what this does is for 2 black, it's an instant. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. That's pretty good, especially against like Ketramose, because anything that says minus whatever, -X, gets around indestructible. Then we have Long Goodbye, 1 Sheoldred's Edict. And then we have 3 artifacts, 1 Expedition Map, 1 Relic of Legends, and then 1 Urza's Incubator. For enchantments, they played 1 Heartless Summoning, 1 Oubliette, 1 The Sipsec Ceremony, and they played 19 lands, 1 Cabal Coffers, 1 Lake of the Dead, 15 Snow-Covered Swamps, 1 Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, and then 1 Urza's Cave. For their sideboard, they played 1 Bantu's Last Reckoning, 1 Clean to Dusk, 1 Collective Brutality, 1 Defense Grid, 1 Disruptor Flute, 1 Dystopia, 1 Feed the Swarm, 1 Shred Memory, 1 Thorn of Amethyst, and 1 Withering Torment. Alright, and for our 6th place deck list, this is the deck that I lost to in the first round. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already. Shoot, I'm losing my mind, losing my memory. But this guy right here, the Ketramose deck is, I got lost to this in second round. So he won round 1, and I lost in round 1. So in round 2, he got paired down and I got paired up. Lucky me. So yeah, I lost to this. I couldn't even apply any pressure. And when I finally was able to, his Ketramose was live. He just kept swinging with it, drawing with it, and it just went downhill from there in both games. I got 2-0'd badly by this. And then the Tameshi deck, they got 6th place. I lost to this in round 1. It was pretty slow, but so was I. I could not draw anything to get any momentum going. And then eventually, so many turns passed, and then you can't allow your opponent to have too many chances. And when that did, he was able to take advantage, and yeah, he just killed me. But anyways, so yeah, they played Tameshi as their commander. They paid 5 creatures, 1 Cephalid Illusionist, 1 Emery Lurker of the Loch, 1 Laboratory Maniac, 1 Spell Skite, 1 Stoneforge Mystic, 1 Ponder, 1 Savine's Reclamation, 1 Tinker, 1 Transmute Artifact. For their instance, they played 11, 1 Brain Freeze, 1 Brainstorm, 1 Daze, Enlightened Tutor, Faithful Mending, which I thought was a really cool card. When he played it on me, I had never seen it before, and I thought it was just a really cool card because of what it did, and then it has flashback. You know, you gain 2 life, you draw 2 cards, you discard 2 cards, but it's kind of like a weird Faithless Looting in a way. 1 Intuition, 1 Mental Misstep, 1 Muddled Mixture, 1 Razor Grass Ambush, 1 Sequence of Stupor, and then 1 Whir of Invention. And then for their artifacts, they played 9. They played an Aether Spell Bomb, 1 Stone, excuse me, almost said Brainstorm, 1 Chromatic Sphere, 1 Cryptic Coat, 1 Lightning Greaves, 1 Lotus Bloom, 1 Lotus Petal, 1 Mishra's Bauble, and 1 Shuko. For their enchantments, they played 1 Artificer's Intuition, and then 1 Copy Artifact. They played a total of 18 lands, 1 Ancient Den, Ancient Tomb, City of Traders. Really like this card, but for that price at $3.59 on average, I guess, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it. We'll see. If there's a deck that I really think will benefit from me running it, I'll bite the bullet and get it. But as of right now, not really. Don't really need it. Anyways, 1 Command Tower, 1 Iganjo, Seat of the Empire, 1 Flooded Strand, 1 Hollowed Fountain, 2 Islands, 1 Meticulous Archive, 1 Otawara, 1 Plains, 1 Polluted Delta, 1 Prismatic Vista, 1 Sea of the Synod, 1 Treasure Vault, 1 Tundra, and then 1 Urza's Saga. And the sideboard, they played 10 cards, 1 Absolute Grace. Yeah, I believe, was it this game? I can't really remember if it was this game or another game where someone sideboarded this against me. Can't remember if this was if it was this one or against the Yoshi Rograt deck, but someone sided this against me and it just ruined my day. They drew this early and I just couldn't stop them. I think it was the Yoshi Rog deck, but anyways, it's a really good card against black. Go figure. 1 Chill, 1 Defense Grid, 1 Disruptor Flute, 1 Fragmentize, excuse me. And I've never seen this card before, so let's go over it. For 1 white mana, you get a sorcery. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana costs 4 or less. Pretty cool. Might consider this. 1 Hydroblast, 1 Into the Flood Maw, 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Soul Guide Lantern, and then 1 Warmth. Alright, 2 more deck lists to go. The 7th place deck was Tifa, 10 creatures, 1 Bristly Bill, 1 Elvish Spirit Guide, 1 Mossborn Hydra, 1 Ramunap Excavator, 1 Saz's Chocobo, 1 Scrib Ranger, 1 Scoot Swarm, excuse me, 1 Scythe Cat Cub, 1 Springheart Nantuko, 1 Traveling Chocobo. For their sorceries, 1 Green Sun Zenith, 1 Primal Might. And again, pause because I've never seen this card before. And I'm pretty sure you guys are like saying, well, what cards has this guy seen? To be fair, I've only been playing Magic for a couple of years, so there's going to be a lot of cards that I don't know, so bear with me. 1 Primal Might, sorcery. Target creature you control gets plus X until end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Alright, so 1 Scale Up. Instance, you got your Berserk, Blooming Defense, Crop Rotation, Invigorate, Legolas's Quick Reflexes, Mutagenic Growth, Ranger's Guile, Royal Treatment, Snakeskin Veil, Tameo Safekeeping, Titanic Brawl, Tyvar Stand, Vines of Vastwood, and for their artifacts, they played 1 Lotus Petal, 1 Skyclave Pickaxe, and 1 Rancor. They played 20 lands, Boseiju, a Dryad Arbor of 11 forests, excuse me, 1 Lair of the Hydra, 1, something's wigging out. Just let me refresh the page. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes Moxfield wigs out on me. I don't know why. Oh, shoot. Might have a virus or something. No, I'm just kidding. It only happens sometimes on Moxfield. Not sure why, but anyways, let's continue. 1 Lair of the Hydra, 1 Misty Rainforest, 1 Prismatic Vista, 1 Verdant Catacombs, Wasteland, Windswept Heath, and Wooded Foothills. For their sideboard, Allosaurus Shepherd, Carpet of Flowers, Choke, Hunt the Hunter, Keen-Eyed Curator, Outland Liberator, Pick Your Poison, Scavenging Ooze, Seeds of Innocence, and gonna pause because, again, I'm not sure what this card is. For 1 generic and 2 green, it's a sorcery that says bury all artifacts. Each artifact's controller gains an amount of life equal to that artifact's casting cost. Pretty good. 1 Veil of Summer. Alright, and our last list that we're going to go over is Sephiroth. And Sephiroth has been putting up results. I think the last 3 tournaments since it's come out back in June, I believe, when the Final Fantasy set dropped, it's topped the last 3 events, including this one. So yeah, Sephiroth seems like it's a force to be reckoned with and a deck that should be taken seriously. And if you want to play any commanders from the Final Fantasy set, well, you have Tifa and now you have Sephiroth. So pretty cool, right? Especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get into the deck. 1 Accursed Marauder, 1 Avenger of the Fallen, Barrogoyf, Blood Artist, Blood Ghast, Carrion Feeder, Dark Confidant, Grave Crawler, 1 Jadar, Goldcaller of Nephalia, 1 Lord Skitter, Marionite Apprentice, Orcish Bowmasters, Priest of Forgotten Gods, Timeline Color, Warren Soul Trader, and then Zulaport Cutthroat. They played 4 sorceries, 1 Duress, 1 Hymn to Torok, Inquisition to Kozilek, and Thoughtseize. 5 instants, which included Anoint with Affliction, Cut Down, Dark Ritual, Eliminate, and Long Goodbye. 5 enchantments, 1 Bitter Blossom, 1 Thonian Nightmare, 1 Contamination, 1 Dread Horde Invasion, and Meat Hook Massacre. They played 19 lands, Ancient Tomb, Bloodstained Mire, City of Traders, Midgar, City of Mako, another Final Fantasy card, 5 Rexian Tower, Polluted Delta, Shizo Death Storehouse, 8 Swamps, 1 Takenuma, Abandoned Mire, 1 Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, 1 Verdant Catacombs, and a Wasteland. For their sideboard, they played Dothy Voidwalker, Dismember, Dystopia, Feed the Swarm, Force of Despair, Pithing Needle, Shoulder's Edict, Sudden Edict, Toxic Deluge, and an Unlicensed Hearse. Alright, so that does it for the top 8 deck list. Main takeaway is that Ketramose is still a force to be reckoned with. So we'll see. Maybe it could be banned as Commander. I wouldn't mind if it was. But, at the same time, not a lot of people are playing it. It keeps winning, but only like 1 or 2 people actually show up with the deck. So it's kind of weird. And it kind of, speaks to what this format kind of is as well. This format seems like it's still trying to find its identity. It's still not solved, even though Ketramose has won. But that doesn't mean other decks are capable of winning, especially in a format, small like this. So hopefully it continues to grow, which I want to help with. No Vivi. No one played Vivi. Was Lutri that important to the deck that no one decided to sleeve up? I mean, mind you, this tournament was only 14 players. So maybe the lower player count might have something to do with that. With more players, obviously you can have a higher chance of seeing more decks, but still found it interesting that no one played a VV whatsoever in this little tournament. So we'll see how the next one goes. The next Reborn Rumble tournament is going to be in October. It's going to be in Santa Rosa, and I'm going to be ready for it. If everything goes good, I'm going to be sleeving up. I'll tell you guys what deck I'll be sleeving up in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you guys know already because I've been talking about it. Folks, I'm just blathering and blabbering on and babbling on and on now. So that's time to end the video. So